What is happening, everybody? It is the first weekend of spring 2020. I'm out again. I've been out for the past couple weekends. Cellar holes are tough, but if you're taking a look at this video, it might mean that I dug something good today. So let's turn this camera around. Let's get this day started. So what we're looking at here is the cellar hole right there, and this one is a little more subtle. Some of the cellar holes, and most of the cellar holes in the area I'm living now, are obvious. They're on big buff trails. You can barely see the trail coming down through there. And this isn't a tight little area. Down there is very marshy and very stony. You can see some of the stones they worked along the field here and part of the road. I don't know if you can see it because it's such a thin little road. And then right over here, it just goes way uphill pretty fast. That's pretty steep and doesn't show up on camera. So cellar hole there, looks like the entrance was on the front. And I think that was a big chimney that collapsed on the back. That's a pretty big size stone pile. This is where we're gonna get started today. I'm hoping. The reason why I haven't had any videos up lately is just that all these cellar holes that I'm hitting and where I'm living now are just beat to death due to the fact that they're typically right next to these bigger buff trails. So let's get today started. Let's see if we can get some relics out of this spot. Well, looky here, not even 10 minutes into today's adventure, and I'm just working around the cellar hole itself, and I'm at the base of, I think, what was the chimney where it collapsed backwards away from the home that we looked at. And first tone, it was bouncing around little 18s to 45s. I was almost thinking tin, but I'll take this find as the first real relic of 2020. And there we go. That's what's collapsed away from the cellar hole and kind of at the base of it where it starts. That was my little shallow tone, and I wasn't expecting much, but that is beautiful. Beautiful little Colonial escutcheon piece, and you can see it's got a little fancy right along the top there. I think there's a little pinhole there as well. That's beautiful. It's a little missing, but that's gorgeous. I will take that. Oh, there's the, I'm looking at the wrong side, Bri. Holy moly. That is gorgeous. I'll take that. Let's keep going. This is a good sign. All right, maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes later, I'm still kind of kneeling around just around the cellar hole, and I got another find, but I think this is going to be a little bit modern, but let's take a look anyway. So I had to turn that stone out of that pile, and that right there came out from underneath that stone, but I'm seeing a flat edge, so that's going to be a panty, I think. Nope, my bad. It's a nice thick button. Oh yeah, that's why. I thought for sure that was a modern penny. I don't see anything on it. Might be a little something on it, actually. Trying to look through a camera. Boy, that's a heavy one, though. No design on it, but that's a plain flat button. I've literally been digging for 10-15 minutes, and that's my second good tone of the day. Nice. Let's keep it up. So, a lot of nails where I'm at. I'm literally still standing in the same 6-foot square hole. That's where I dug the escutcheon piece right there. I haven't moved anywhere in the past 20 minutes or so, and a lot of nails. But if I go slow, and I'm swinging in all kinds of different directions, this 10-inch coil will pick stuff out of this nail bed. So let's take a look. Nothing particularly fancy. It's just a very skinny, like a drawer pull. And I'm swinging the White's MXD. I haven't changed up anything that I've been doing. It's still my favorite machine for the woods. And this was ringing up maybe 18 to 24. Shotgun chill range, real shallow, but I haven't found any hunter stuff yet around here. So, not too bad. Picking through a bunch of square nails. I haven't shown those, but pick out those semi-consistent tones. That's what's hiding in the iron. And let's keep moving. All right, I'm a happy puppy. Not 25 minutes into this cellar hole, and I've got another target. And this one was only maybe a foot away from that little drawer pull I just got. And take a look at that, and take a better look at where I'm swinging. So this is where we looked at the beginning of the video on the lower half of the hill. That's the opening to the cellar hole. I'm literally right on the corner where it starts running across and collapsed in. And from this side you can see it was a pretty small cellar hole. It wasn't very big. It was a little rectangular job. And there's more. The house stuck out over the cellar hole, so this wasn't a full cellar hole. But you know, there's all kinds of barberry and all kinds of junk in here. I've kind of opened up a little path in here to make it easier to swing. And this is what somebody didn't want to do. And this is why somebody didn't get the relics today. Let's take a look. And there's my reward. Oops, if I can get it into focus here. Might have been a little gold gilt on that. I can't really read what that's telling me. Kind of bright out today, so I can't really see through the glare, but that's just a plain flat button. Somebody didn't want this signal. Wasn't the greatest. 2532. But that's history. 1820s to 1840s probably. Let's keep it up. This is a nice spot. So it's been a little bit for this guy. I finally got sick of playing around in the cellar hole after half an hour. I kind of got quiet in that little area. I was getting lucky, and so I started working the cellar hole, and it's an interesting one. They were here for a while, but they weren't here forever. It's two walls, and then the cellar hole is kind of up by the front of the road here. And they cleaned that area out, and they did a little work across the street, and that was it. I mean, I don't think this place was around much more than 50 or 60 years, but right in the corner of the property on the road, I found a target somebody missed. This was easy. All right, and here's the road that comes up through the property. It's also a dirt bike trail. You may be able to hear. I've got riders coming through occasionally. There's the cellar hole, and this site was pretty interesting. It's got a wall there, and it's got a wall there, and they had worked out this rectangular section back maybe 150 feet or so. It's kind of quiet back there since I moved away from the cellar hole. And then you can see this curve of the wall, and there it comes back up to about that point there that they had worked this area as well. And then once you get beyond that, you know, this is what you're looking at on the property. It's pretty much surrounds them. That's the original road out towards the main road. But right here in the corner of the property, somebody missed a real easy tone next to the tree. And I got it. This looks very similar to the one that I dug before. A little wetter down here by the road, so this button's got a little chewy, but very cool. Best day I've had in a long time metal detecting, and it's still pretty early. I still got another hour or two before I got to cut out of here, so whoops, let's keep digging. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is where I'm pulling the plug. That was a fun half an hour of excitement by the cellar hole, followed by a whole lot of holy moly, this place has been beat up. But it's a smaller site. It wasn't around for a long time. I'm figuring the latter third of the 1700s, and they were probably out of here by the 1850s. There's not a lot of iron. There's not a lot of going on. They only worked a little area, the rectangular area that surrounds the house, a little bit across the street, and that was it. It's not really the nicest place in Connecticut to build a home and thrive in. We'll take a look at my finds real quick. I do want to take a look at something that I dug up a couple weeks ago. I went out to another incredibly whipped cellar hole, and I didn't get anything. I finally was working the walls. I was probably eighth or so mile away from the cellar hole, and I dug up this little guy right here. Not far from the wall, somebody way away from the house was having lunch or something and dropped that spoon. It didn't ring up very high. It sounded like a shotgun shell. It was very shallow, so that was a nice surprise. So let's turn around and take a look at today's booty. And that's it. I didn't dig anything else worth mentioning. We did wind up finding some shotguns and shells and other goodies, usual scraps of tin here and there that sounded good, but nope, no bueno. That beautiful escutcheon piece, that's probably one of the nicest ones I've dug. Drawer pull that probably went along with it because it was only about 6 feet away. And a few plain buttons. and that's it. So let's wrap this up. I apologize for the lack of videos, guys. The new house keeps me busy a lot of weekends. 2019 was a lot of work on the house. I'm hoping to free up more time. I've been getting out and digging, but there's just the cellar holes in this area of Connecticut are just so whipped. So thanks for watching this one. I know it's been a long time since I've had a video, but as soon as I get something out of the ground worth watching, I'll show it to you guys. So you guys take care and good luck and happy hunting.